Hello, and welcome to episode 5 of the Hermitcraft mod sauce series on the semi-official Geek Squad server. I'm going to just pick up right where I left off, so you won't notice much change in scenery since the outro of my last one, because I've just still got some time to play today, so I'm just picking up straight away. So the first thing that I think I'm going to be working on is the bound armor. Like I said last episode, that's really what I want to work towards. That's the thing that I desire probably more than anything else out of this mod, because I've heard it is amazing. So that's where I'm going to be putting most of my focus of straight away. I'm going to start getting the items together to go ahead and make the sockets that I have to do it, because if you do not know, you don't make the bound armor in the same way that you make the bound weapons. You don't go over to the Ritual of Binding and throw some diamond armor in there and then kick it on with the weak activation crystal to get it done. You have to actually build the armor out of pieces that you form as blocks, and then you kind of put them together into the formation that you want in order to get the armor done. It's still a ritual, it still requires you to use the weak activation crystal, but each piece of armor is kind of its own ritual setup. So, that's what I'm going to be working on first. I'm going to get those items together. I'll be back in a little bit, guys. Really minor update about systems, guys. So I don't know if I showed you before, but I put in an alloy smelter here that's taking in all of the gold ore berries and then turning them into gold nuggets into this deep storage unit here. So you can see I've got a pretty good amount there. All the other ones have been kicking along for quite some time, especially the essence ore berry, which you can see I've got way more of those just because I have way more essence ore berries going on inside of this farm back here. And then over on this side, I've kind of done a little bit of a temporary measure here. I've got a chest with a transfer node to put items into the sag mill, because I was breaking down a whole bunch of cobblestone to turn into sand to burn into glass. I needed a lot of glass for what I was doing, so let's head out there and I'll show you what I was doing that I needed all that glass for. So one of the mods, and you've kind of seen me be using it already. Real quick, let me put back on my Sojourner's Sash. It seems to lose connection with me every time I log out, so I have to put it back on each time. So anyways, if we come over here, you can see that I've started a tree farm. So I've got the tree farm with the harvester up here, planter underneath, moving all the stuff around. I've got my hardened energy cell taking in sunlight with the solar flux mod there. And the reason I needed all the glass is because I upgraded the solar panel. You can see it's a tier 4 solar panel now, which I can't remember exactly what the statistics on it are. Let's take a look here. And we can see tier 4, 256 per tick, 2048 going through it at once with a capacity of 4 million. So you can see that's a lot of energy. That's a lot of energy for my needs here, because I don't need terribly much. And if we look over here on the side, you can see I've got to put a deep storage unit down for that barrel there. I'm getting too much wood. Dark oak trees are really, really good for wood, as it turns out. So that's good. That's good there. But yeah, a tier 4 solar panel, guys. It's pretty good. If we take a look at the crafting recipe for it, it's kind of intense, actually. I had to make, I want to say, 2 or 4 full stacks of solar panel 1s. Just to get all the way through. So solar panel 1, not too expensive. The mirrors are just glass and iron. As you can see why I needed so much glass, because I had to make a ton of those, and each one of the tiers is a little bit different. Tier 2 requires the tier 1 solar panels to get it. Tier 3 requires 4 of the tier 2 basic machine frame and a leadstone energy cell. The photovoltaic cells also require the mirrors, also require glass on top of the glass required for the mirrors. So lots and lots of glass was needed to get here. And the solar panel 4 is the second tier photovoltaic cells, and then also 4 of the solar panel 3s, along with a hardened machine frame and a hardened energy cell. So quite expensive to get here for this early game where I don't have all the resources I'd like. Really need to get some automated crafting systems up and going. Really starting to think about applied energistics, just because I don't want to have to do something like that again, because that was a lot of manual crafting. I mean, a lot of manual crafting. But guys, I'm going to start looking at other options along those lines. I'm going to, I believe, start putting together the ritual for the bound armor, or putting together the pieces for it anyways, Because bound armor, guys, is amazing, and I really want to get into that. I've seen some other people use it, and it just seems like it makes you basically unstoppable. So I'm going to start looking at that, seeing what I can get done there. I'll be back in a little bit. And so, with very much sacrificing and a lot of time dedicated to doing it here, I finally have all 28 of the filled blood sockets that you need to be able to craft the bound armor. If we look at the recipe here, this is what the empty socket it looks like. You have to use regular glass. No other glass will be able to be used there. A diamond and 4 weak blood shards. And it requires 28 of these to completely do it because though the armor only takes 24, you have to make the soul armor forge to place in the blocks to make the blood armor. So you can see that requires 4 more, and then a blood orb of at least magician's level caliber, and then 4 stone as well. So I figure we can go ahead and hop down there and do this. Oh, if I'd go the right way to head downstairs, of course. Hop down to my crafting table here. You can see I've already put the stone in anticipation for doing so. And then we're going to go ahead and do that, and there we go. Now we've got the soul armor forge. And the way that you do this is you just lay out the filled sockets in normal armor patterns. So I'm just going to lay them out here, and then I'll be coming back to them because I do want to add some modifiers in, which I'm not going to be able to do at this time because I don't have the stuff ready to do so. So that would be boots, because in a 9x9, that's 2 on each corner. And then of course leggings would be like that. So you can see there's going to be the leggings for it. I'm just going to go ahead and throw that up there too, so there's ample light here so nothing can spawn. And then a helmet would be that, and then a chest piece would be almost everything filled. So there's that, and then that. So there we go. So you can see that is all of the armor pieces laid out in the filled socket format. Now you'd put the soul armor forge, sorry, I keep saying that backwards. You would put that into the empty space that touches the most blocks. So on the chest place, there really is only one space. You'd put it there. On the boots, you put it here in the bottom. On the pants, you put it right there in kind of the center. And in the helmet, again, right in the center is where you put it. And that'll make the armor. But you can add modifiers and things to these too. As soon as I've crafted up the sigils that I want to add to these, we'll go ahead and get talking about that. So I'll be back, guys. So moving along towards the bound armor, it's now become apparent to me that I want to make it like as good as it can get, because I don't even want to bother with remaking it later when I'm able to do stuff. So that being the case, I'm going to have to get some demon blood shards. You get demon blood shards from killing the elemental enemies, which you have to use alchemy to get the materials for them, and also you require a specialized summoning circle, essentially. So here we go. You need 6 of these arcane pedestals and 1 of these arcane plinths. Here you can see the recipe for the plinth, and then that is the recipe for the pedestal. So I'll have to arrange these in a special way, and then I'll have to use the alchemy to create the reagents to summon the elementals that I want to kill. It seems to me that possibly I mean, they can all fly, I'm told. They all have special attacks, and they all inhibit blood armor, which is the reason that I'm not even going to bother with getting the blood armor up and going, because that would be what I would be wearing when I'm fighting the elementals, and they would just shut it down. So that being the case, I'm just going to go ahead and summon them, see if I can fight them in this armor, and see how that goes for me. So I'm going to gather together materials. Once I'm ready to summon the elemental, I will be back with you. And so here we go on the start of the alchemy journey here. You can see I just put a full stack of each material in there I'm going to let it make a whole bunch of the simple catalysts, because I'm not sure how many of the elementals that I will have to kill in order to get all of the demon blood shards that I need. I need at least 6. I need 4 for the bound armor, and then I need 1 to make the Archmage's blood orb, and then another 1 for an Archmage's blood orb, so that I can just leave that sitting in my blood altar, so that I'll have blood generation just passively going into my network at the maximum possible input at all times. So this is going to take a while, clearly, to get finished. I'll be back in a little bit. Alright, and then after looking at all of the materials that are used to summon the different elementals, I came to the conclusion that the easiest one to summon was the Earth Elemental. So that's the one I'm going to be going for here. So you can see I've got 2 stacks of obsidian, a stack of sand, the simple catalyst, and then dirt to finish that off. And there we go. So it takes 6 of these per summon. So I've got quite a few summons there, because like I said, I need at least 6, and I know that the drop rate is not 100% even with looting 3. So I'm going to go ahead and just make it all, and then see what I can get. So I'll be back in a little bit, guys. Alright, so here we are. I think this is set up in the proper configuration. I've got one of my blood orbs there in the center of it, and then should be 6 terrae around the edges in order to summon this thing. Yep, looks like it's going to work, since it sets fire to everything as it's consuming the terrae. So, let's stand back and wait for the thing to be summoned, and then we're going to fight it off. There it is. With full knockback, this is going to be fun, I feel. Like playing ping pong. Well, as much as people were telling me that, like, you're supposed to summon demons to fight these things, I am not impressed. Now, it might be because my gear is all incredibly enchanted and whatnot, but that was not very impressive. So there we go. There's my first demon blood shard. That was a lucky first drop, I guess. So, alright. I'm going to fight these things a few more times to try to get all 6 of the demon blood shards that I need, and then I will be back, guys. I'll see you then. I don't know what it says about me that every time I pull out my bound blade and then activate it, I hear a lightsaber igniting in my head. Probably just that I'm having a lot of fun. Alright, so it took me about 8 summonings, I think, to get all 6 of the ones that I needed, but here they are. I've got them now. So if I read how this works correctly, I just right-click a piece of the armor, and then it has one of the blood shards in it. So that makes it to where I can put 2 sigils into the armor to be able to improve it. So I'm just going to do the same thing to the boots, and then to the leggings, and then to the helmet. So now each of those has a demon blood shard in them, so that way I will be able to apply 2 sigils to them. I have not crafted the sigils yet, so I'm still not quite ready to make them, but I'm going to do that right now, and I'll be back in a second. Okay, I've gotten all of the sigils together that I want to put on the armor, so the last thing that I really need to do here is go ahead and throw them on. So first off, I've made extra Master Blood Orbs, because you put blood orbs inside of the armor to get it to not consume as much life points for the sigil being active. So for me, of course, this means that I'm just putting them all in to the armor, so that way it'll be totally free, because the Master Blood Orb does make them totally free. So then let's look at the sigils that I want to put in. So I've got Divination, which gives you night vision. So a permanent night vision effect, of course, sounds amazing. Water Sigil gives you infinite water breathing. Lava Sigil gives you fire resistance. The Air Sigil makes it to where you do not take falling damage at all. The Sigil of the Whirlwind means that arrows will be deflected, so I won't be shot by skellies anymore. The Sigil of the Fast Miner gives you haste, so you will mine faster. The Sigil of the Green Grove makes plants around you grow faster. It acts sort of like a passive bone meal effect. And then the Sigil of Haste gives me a speed boost. So that maybe I can get rid of the Sojourner's Sash, which does not quite work correctly, or maybe I'll just take the speed boost off of my backpack. I don't know. So, I'm going to throw all these in, and then we'll get our armor together. So what should go on the chest plate, I think? I think Whirlwind is an obvious choice for what should go on the chest plate. What else? Fast Miner? Yeah, that would make sense, because Fast Miner would be Haste, which would be Arms, which is kind of the chest plate. So yeah, we'll go ahead and throw that in there. In the boots, I think Sigil of Haste. That's a classic sort of D&D type thing, Boots of Speed. So we'll throw that in there. And then let's see. Sigil of the Green Grove. Plants growing at my feet. That's also very classical sort of mythology there. For the pants, we'll do the Lava Resistance, because fire-resistant pants, keeping my buns from burning. That sounds good. And then no falling damage, because that kind of relates to the legs, I guess, of which I have an extra, so I'll try to take that too. And then for the helmet, of course, the infinite water breathing and the night vision. So we'll go ahead and throw that there, and then we'll start putting them together. So then we take our Soul Armor Forge, and we put them in the locations that I told you that they needed to go in before. And then we will need our weak activation crystal, which should be in here. Yep. And then we just go ahead and slap that. And that gives us the bound chest plate. So you can see there, it's got quite a bit of stuff there. Quite nice, quite nice, quite nice. So then let's take this back up. And we will plop it down here. And then smack it. And then we will plop it down here and smack it. And then one more time for the helmet. Okay, so if we look at those, you can see the items that are in the slots. All of the sigils that I put in the Master Blood Orb and the Demon Blood Shard are all present on each single one of them. So right now I'm wearing the Monosteel armor with a Mana Tablet so that it never goes down in durability. And you can see it's quite heavily enchanted. So let's just go ahead and take a look down here. We can see that I've got about 7.5 or 6.5 of the shielding there. So let's just start swapping out the armor pieces and see what happens. Oh, instant increase. Instant increase. There we go. That's about the same. Let's do the helmet next. That tops me off. Oh man, that looks incredibly evil. Wow. Wow. Then we'll go ahead and throw on the chest plate too. Wow. I think that looks quite nice, actually. I mean, I'm sure that it will intimidate my foes quite nicely. But yeah, with the googly eyes that I'm currently wearing, that looks much less impressive. So I'll have to maybe think about changing that. But look at all those effects ticking off of me there. Whirlwind, Night Vision, Speed 2, Haste 2, Boost 2, Fire Resistance, Water Breathing. Oh, and there's my sword. So, guys, that's pretty much it as far as what I needed to get done with the bound armor. I'm now quite strong, I feel. I don't think there's anybody else on the server that could boast the strength that I have gotten myself to now. So, let's see. I need to go ahead and construct the runes so that I can get my tier 5 blood altar in the works. I also need to go ahead and get the wither skulls to be able to go ahead and place down those beacons. I'm sorry, not the wither skulls. I mean nether stars, but I have to get wither skulls to fight the wither to get the nether stars. So I think that's what I have to work towards next. And now that I'm going to go ahead and say pretty unkillable, it'll make that a little bit easier on me. So I'm going to start working towards that. I'll be back in a little bit, guys. Alright, guys. So now that we have our Wither Soul Shard all the way up to Tier 5, I figured that we better go ahead and give ourselves a leg up on being able to collect those heads. To that end, I have made a cleaver. So I'm going to go ahead and pop this in here. You can see that I've got 8 modifiers remaining. Materials used, 2 paper large rods and a paper large plate were the 3 materials, and then I used Manulin to form the blade. Manulin is made from cobalt and ardite in equal parts inside the smeltery. It is one of the alloys. So then we're going to go ahead and add the levels of beheading to it. Now a cleaver comes with 2 levels of beheading built in. So if we just go ahead and use the 8 modifiers to put 8 more levels of beheading on there, then it becomes a 100% chance of beheading. So you can see there, it's got chance to behead 100%. So if we were to fight anything that can drop a head, if we killed them with this, then they would drop their head. And it's got plus 11 attack. It's not terrible. Cleavers come with a pretty big attack bonus because they're kind of slow to swing. So not too shabby there. So I figured we could give this a test. Let me hop on over to my loot room. I've got a soul cage already made. Oh, except, right, I would need to find a permanent space for this, because if you pull out a wither soul shard from the cage, and if you break the cage to get the soul shard back, then it turns into a normal skeleton soul shard, because that's sort of a bug in the mod. Or rather, it's because skeletons and wither skeletons share the same mob ID. So I would need to find a permanent place to put it, because once I place it, I'm not going to want to pull it back out. So I'll have to look around for that first, guys, and then we'll give this thing a swing. I'll be back in just a little bit. One quick stop along the way. Alright, I dug out a pretty big portion of a cave that's underneath my base. Here's where I found like a spider spawner that I used to get stuff going for me, as far as soul shard for spiders and whatnot. I dug all this out. You can see there's an obvious big square block where I used my blood pick to get down there, and I did the same thing up there, but I kind of put a lot of the dirt back because I didn't want that to be spawnable area. Eventually, I'm going to dig all this out and turn it into a big mob trap where they'll actually just die automatically. There's a number of ways for me to do that. There's even one where I can incorporate the use of my cleaver, which I'm pretty interested in. Eventually, once I get that going, I'll have all the wither skulls that I could ever want. And the point of that is that there are ways to kind of automate killing the wither, and thus automate getting nether stars, which is another good thing to get going, because there's lots of things that use nether stars, up to and including the fact that they're a power source that you can use to get yourself lots and lots of power for your base. So, I'm going to go ahead and pop this shard in. Now, right now, obviously, it's kind of run manually. Like, I just come in with my cleaver, whack a few of the wither skeletons, and then get that going. So let's see here. So obviously I got withered pretty bad there. Just wasn't even thinking about it, but 5 of them spawned. 5 heads do I got. Now of course I could do more stuff. Like, I still could get the nether star add-on for the cleaver, so I could put one more add-on on it, to which I would probably put looting. But yeah, look at that. Look at that. 5 more wither skulls. So, I'm going to kill a few of these, get ready to kill the wither, and I'll be back with it. Probably going to kill the wither this episode. So much for being unkillable. As you can see there, got a head now planted firmly in the wall there. I died. Oh no. I missed deactivating the switch there. On one of the waves, and so all of the withers that spawned just went to town on me and totally killed me. I think I actually had more protection in my monosteel armor, which is sad to say because it's not even diamond caliber, but because I was able to enchant it with enchantments that I wanted, I'm pretty sure that I actually didn't take damage in it better than I don't take damage in this. I don't know, guys. I don't know. But now I've got another problem, because all of the wither skeletons that killed me are invisible and I can't kill them. Like, if I hop down in that hole, I don't know if you can hear it, but they're meandering about there. If you look on my map, you can see up there in the top corner that there are none that show on there. And if I hop down there, they'll start attacking me. They're totally there, but I can't see them, and I can't attack them myself, so I'm not really sure what to do about that. I might have to call on some admin abilities to take care of this problem. I'm not sure. But I don't know. I'll think on it, guys. I'll be back in a bit. I mean, I don't know what to do just yet. As it turns out, ranged attacks could attack them, so I just shot a few arrows down here and killed them all. So, I mean, that being said, even with just a little bit of time, I mean, maybe I've spent 10 minutes on this. You can see I've got 41 wither skulls, which is a lot. That is plenty to summon the wither, the amount of times that I need to summon it to finish off the blood altar. So, let me go and set the stage for an epic boss battle. Alright, you guys ready for the first wither kill? Possibly the first wither kill on the entire server? Let's do this. Of course I would fall in a lake. Yes, and there we go. That's the first dead wither by us, and probably the first dead wither on the server. So, that's also the first nether star. And now that we're able to kill the wither, at least semi-reliably, we should get plenty of the miniature yellow hearts, which should mean that we can get all of the yellow heart containers done as well. Well, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed the episode. If you liked it, please feel free to actually leave a like on the episode. It will please me greatly and make me feel like I should continue doing this for someone else's benefit other than just my own. If you liked it enough that you want to see more, please feel free to subscribe. I love all of my subscribers. I thank each and every one of you for helping me get along in this server. But alright guys, I'll see you next time.